Hi YouTube, it's Lena, and I'm here today with Confessions of a Palette Addict tag. I think I qualify. I definitely think I qualify because that's not even all of them. There are also these that I have in Z palette, made at home Z palette, and my Project Pan one. I have a lot of palettes. And this is only palettes that are 8 or more pans. Like, I have so many little eyeshadow palettes, it's not even funny. Anyways, I got these, well, I saw a couple people on YouTube do this tag. When I went and got the questions, I got these questions off of a blog, which I will link down below as well, but they had 3 extra questions on them, and I'm going to answer those too because I thought it was cool. Anyways, let's see. How many makeup palettes do you own is number 1, and I took a makeup inventory recently, so I can actually answer that. For what I consider palettes, I own 22. And that is 8 or more pans. That is how I classified them. So I own 22. Now if you want to throw in 5 to 7, you can add another 9 to that, but I'm going with 22. I don't want to leave them on that page just in case. How many of those are eyeshadow palettes? All of them have at least eyeshadows in them. Some of them might include, you know, blush or maybe lip products, but they all have eyeshadows in them. They are all what I would consider eyeshadow palettes. How many non-eyeshadow palettes do you have? I just answered that. I have none that are strictly non-eyeshadow. Nope. Nope, nope. They're all eyeshadow palettes. What are your top 3 favorite palettes? That's pretty easy. This is my Urban Decay Vice 2. It is glinting because there's sunlight coming through my home. And here it is shown. It is limited edition. You can only get it on like eBay now. I had to rebuy this off of Urban Decay's website when my house burned down, and I was dying to have it again. And I was praying that I wouldn't have to spend, you know, like $100 on eBay, and I lucked up. That luck is no longer there, so if this one leaves me, it is gone. And I will cry immensely. Let's see, my second favorite is the Naked 3. If I wasn't project panning right now and I wanted to go for a neutral look, this is what I would go for. I guess I'm just one of those lucky ones that can wear pink eyeshadow and not look tired and messed up. I mean, I wouldn't put it on I wouldn't like line my lower lash line with the pink, but otherwise, other than that, I think I look pretty damn stunning with pink eyeshadow. And I never would have guessed until I started playing with my Project Pan palette and used up the pink eyeshadow and found out how much I loved it. And my third favorite, I don't even know if I could pick a third. Like, those 2 are my top 2, and then there's so many that could be my third in here. We'll just go with one that I've loved for a really long time. This is the Balm Jovi Rockstar palette from the Balm. Has its own little mirror on top. Has all these eyeshadows that are named wonderfully. Has a highlight and a cheek color. And then I love this little idea of covering the not powder products so powder doesn't get in, but it has 2 cheek and lip stains as well. That is one that I actually really love for... Is that a question? Okay, it doesn't say. This is one that I actually really love for traveling because I can get a neutral look out of it, I can get a pretty colorful look out of it, and it has a couple other things in it, and it's really sturdy and really thin, and I do really love it. So I guess that is probably my third favorite. What are your palette regrets? Okay, A lot of the things that I don't really like were given to me, so I don't know if I would qualify them as palette regrets. I think they might fit into another question. But as far as what I actually purchased, probably these BH Cosmetics palettes. Not that I don't enjoy them, but out of stuff that I actually purchased for myself, they probably get the least amount of use. And I couldn't even tell you why. That's a mirror, but it's not the mirror doesn't stand up on its own, and that is one thing that bugs me about it. This is the Malibu one. So it's got these really pretty bright eyeshadows. It's got a highlight, it's got what might work as a bronzer, and 2 really pretty blushes. I bought these at the same time, so that's why I'm putting them together. And here's the BH Hollywood palette. And it has basically the same type of style. A highlight, what could work as at least all over face bronzer, 2 blushes, and all these really pretty eyeshadows. I mean, there's nothing inherently wrong with it. It's just probably the one that I go for the least. Although I am going to do I'm at least intending on doing a 4th of July look out of this one. So I will be using that shortly. But, I mean, they're kind of bulky, they're kind of heavy. I don't know. Like I said, they're probably my true palette regrets of things that I purchased, not that I got for free or that were given to me or anything like that. Simply because they're probably my least used. Not that I don't like them, and not that I want to get rid of them, though. How many limited edition or holiday palettes do you own? I don't know. Let's see. I have Vice 2. That's limited edition. And I'm not going to count stuff they just stopped producing, because that's different. Let's see. I have the Urban Decay Book of Shadows 4. 4 Redux, actually, because it's slightly different. So that's 2. I have the Chi Chi Classics, which isn't technically limited edition, but it's from Australia, so it's really hard to get here in America. That was sent to me by Little Miss Artsy. Thank you again, Hannah. I really do love this. It's very pretty. Oh, here's an e.l.f. Beauty Book 10-piece nude eyeshadow palette. That was from Christmas that I picked up on a sale right after Christmas for obvious reason. So that's 3. So just strictly like limited edition or holiday palettes, I have 3. I have 1 palette that's just really hard to get here in America. And if you wanted to count stuff that you just can't get anymore because they stopped producing it, I have the Urban Decay Deluxe Shadow Box. That is right here because it's been depotted. Crap! Sorry about that. I bumped my filming station and everything fell over. Let's see. But what else do I have that they no longer produce? Oh. And I have the Wet n Wild Color Icon 8-pan palette Blue Had Me at Hello that I think is pretty pretty. I don't know why they stopped putting it out. So, I mean, that's 2 that I have that they no longer produce, but I don't know if they'd really count as limited edition. How many of your palettes are custom? Technically none. I mean, I have these 2, so theoretically 2, but there's none. I don't have like a MAC palette or an Inglot palette or anything like that. Of all your palettes you own, which is 1 palette that you would say wasn't worth the price? I don't think I have one. Like, I think all of these are technically worth the price. I don't know. The closest thing I have to an answer for that is this Jessie's Girl palette in Behind Blue Eyes. I mean, they're really pretty colors, aren't they? But they're not wonderfully pigmented. You have to work with them to get a good bit of color. I got this from Ipsy, and it's something that I really wish I hadn't gotten, even though I was looking forward to it when I did get it. So I don't think this is worth the price of whatever it actually is at Rite Aid. I didn't pay for that whole price. In theory, I paid, we can say, $2 for it, but I don't think it's very good. Which of the palettes do you own? Which 1 palette was worth every penny? I would definitely say my Vice 2, because you can get, unless you were looking for like neon orange, you can get pretty much any look you want out of it. Like, you can get neutral looks, you can get lovely jewel toned looks, you can get pink looks. It's got this really pretty gold right here. It's got this kind of olive tone. I mean, you can just about get whatever you want. It's even got 2 matte colors, one in Rewind and one in Habits. I mean, those are the only 2 matte colors, but it's got those. Excuse me. I definitely think that's worth every penny, and I wish you could get it a lot easier. Mo wants to come back up. Let's see. I think this one's a Profusion palette, this one's a Color Mates palette, but I think that these that you can get from the Dollar Tree are worth way more than $1. Like, I think these are at least worth $5 to $10, honestly. Because they're really good quality eyeshadow, and they're a little powdery, but so is Wet n Wild. So, I mean, and everybody loves Wet n Wild shadows. And I think these blend a little better than Wet n Wild shadows. Not knocking Wet n Wild at all, but, I mean, I chose this one as my Project Pan palette, or Pan That palette, I should be saying, because I like a whole lot of colors, but they have neutral ones too. So, these definitely qualify. In the last 12 months, how many palettes have you given away or returned? None. So I had to buy a buttload more palettes to replace what I lost in a fire. I have 2 that I plan on getting rid of, and that is this Jessie's Girl and this e.l.f. Geometric eyeshadow book that I got for free in an e.l.f. grab bag. That, nothing wrong with the colors or the quality of them, I just don't, I have other stuff in my collection just like this. I mean, my favorite color out of here is even one that I have, and it's this little, I don't even know if it's going to pick up right on the camera, but it's like this purpley plum shade that's really pretty. And I don't like the design of the geometric ones because these little colors in the middle are really hard to get your brush into. So I have 2 that I'm planning on getting rid of because I'm meeting with my sister and my cousins in August, and we're going to do a little makeup swap while we're there. I don't think anybody's going to go for this because I don't think anybody really goes for blue eyeshadows, but I'm sure somebody will grab this one. And it's really, like I said, e.l.f. makes really good quality shadows, especially for the price. It's just, I have other stuff in my collection I gravitate towards more that has the same stuff. If for some reason one morning you woke up and all your palettes vanished, I've went through that. Which 3 palettes would you run out and get? The ones that I was screaming for the most. Because I went through this. If you were tuning in and you don't know this, my house burned down in January and I lost everything. I got out the house with the clothes on my back, my husband, and my dog. And that's all I needed, honestly. Everything else was replaceable. This is Mo, by the way. He is what I got out the house with. Sorry, my husband just got home from work, so I'm going to speed through the rest of this. Let's see. 3 palettes that, if all my palettes vanished, which they did, as I mentioned, which ones would I run out and get? I screamed for this one, and I almost cried when I found it at the original retail price. Everything made me cry then, though. Everything still makes me cry, I'm not even going to lie. Let's see, what else? Which ones was I screaming to get? I was screaming to get this back. 3 of my palettes wound up being salvageable, so like they didn't burn too badly, and I was able to take them out of the packaging and put them in the Z palette. 2 of them are in here, and my Naked palette is in here. And the 3rd one would have probably been my Naked palette if I didn't have it with me. So those were the ones that I had. I bought different ones that I've had that I did not have at the time since. It reversed the situation. I don't know if this would replace the Naked palettes or if this would be like with the Naked palette, but I do love my Lorac Pro. It hasn't been used much because I'm project panning a palette, but I've still used it a fair amount considering I'm supposed to be project panning a palette. I use my Naked one a lot too because I use it for a highlight shade and a eyeliner shade a lot. Let's see. And these are the 3 other questions. What is your most loved oldest palette? Well, my most loved is my Project Pan Color Mates palette because it has pan on one, 2 of them are gone, most of them are flattened. My oldest palettes, just by default, would probably be my Naked palette because it is one of the 3 that survived the fire. Oh, and I just knocked something loose. And it is one of the first big palettes that I bought once I started getting into makeup. So first I was like, why would I need a neutral palette? I like bright eyeshadows, and I bought into the hype, and I actually do really love it, so I'm not even mad. What is the best palette for special occasion wedding makeup? Let's see. I didn't even use a palette for when I did prom makeup for my niece. I used the eyeshadow Kitten, and I used a matte brown out of one of her stuff, so I don't know. Honestly, as much as I dislike the packaging of this palette, the Urban Decay Book of Shadows 4 Redux has some beautiful shimmery colors, no mattes, so don't even try to pretend that you're looking for a matte in here, that I think would be great for a special occasion. I think I used this when I went to the job fair, actually. Yeah, because I used like Sin, Sidecar, and Lost. Like Sin, Sidecar, and Lost. I think I used those in my look. So I would actually say this because I think it just has a really pretty put together amount of shadows. What are some honorable mentions of palettes that you'd like to share with exceptional quality that I haven't mentioned? If you can get the deluxe shadow box from Urban Decay, it's really pretty. You can usually find it on eBay for about 30 to 40 bucks, and it was originally 30 bucks, so I don't think that's a bad markup. Let's see. I am in love with my Urban Decay Electric palette. I use it any chance that I do get. It just didn't come up in a question. Actually, no, I think I'd still go with, if all my palettes vanished, what would be the first 3 that I would run out and get immediately? This would probably be like number 5 though, because I really do love it, even though it is crazy colored. Let's see, for exceptional quality. I did mention this a little bit, but my Chi Classics that you can get in Australia is really good. The Urban Decay Shadow Box, the eyeshadows are awesome. I hate the packaging. So I know it's supposed to be pretty and fancy and all that, but it's just annoying to me. See, the Lorac Pro, everybody knows about the Lorac Pro, and everybody's going gaga over the Lorac Pro 2, which I probably will not buy for a really long time, just like I put off the Lorac. Let's see. Okay, I've mentioned Naked 3, I've mentioned Vice. Here's one. Okay, the Bella Pierre Cosmetics. I don't know where these come from. My sister gave this to me. These are really pretty pigmented shadows. It's just a little neutrally palette, but I mean, they're super pretty. So I would definitely mention this as far as, something just fell out. I have to reglue that back in. I am destructive on things that I own, so don't take that as quality of the palettes. So I have to fix that. But that's a really good shadow palette. Like I said, e.l.f. palettes have really good pigmentation, and they're great for the price. I only have a sample of this, but I do want to mention it. It is the Steal It in the Moment palette. These are really pretty shadows. If I didn't have so many palettes, and I wasn't trying to buy, and I was trying to not buy any more palettes for a while, I would definitely start looking into more Steal It palettes. Anyways, that's it. So thank you for tuning in, and I will see you guys later.